Jetzt kommen wir zu etwas anderem. Und zwar, vor einigen Tagen gab es einen Livestream von den Entwicklern um Hogwarts Legacy. Und die haben da einige Sachen gezeigt, auch Gameplay. Ich habe selbst diesen Stream mitverfolgt. Ich habe, glaube ich, nicht alles davon gesehen. Ich glaube, den Anfang oder so nicht. Aber das Gameplay-Ding habe ich quasi fast komplett gesehen. Aber ich will es mit euch noch mal gucken, weil wir haben eine Menge immer schon hier drüber gesehen und uns drauf gefreut, dass es auch demnächst kommt. Jetzt kommt es im Februar und so. Aber ich bin sehr gespannt und ich hoffe, es wird so gut, wie ich vermute. Ja. Ich war seit Jahren nicht mal hyped auf irgendein Spiel, wirklich. Also so null. Ich habe mich auf Spiele gefreut oder so, aber ja, es war jetzt nicht so, dass ich so super aufgeregt war oder super hyped war. Und das ist ein Spiel, was so ein bisschen die Zeit von damals wieder herholt, wenn man auf irgendein Release von irgendeinem krassen Spiel gewartet hat oder so. Deswegen Hogwarts Legacy Gameplay Showcase gucken wir uns jetzt gemeinsam an. Und ich bin sehr gespannt, was ihr davon haltet und was wir darüber hinaus so raussehen können aus dem Ganzen. Es kommt für PC, Xbox und PlayStation und so. Das Ding ist, es gibt PlayStation 5 exklusive Inhalte. Das frickt mich so ein bisschen ab, aber okay. Peeves.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first Hogwarts Legacy gameplay stream. I'm Chandler Wood, Community Manager here at Avalanche Software, and we've got a lot of really exciting stuff to show you today. But before we get into showing you the game and gameplay, I have a few...
Hoffentlich nicht mit 1000 DLCs oder 100 DLCs, nur Map-Orte freizuschalten. Davon gehe ich nicht aus, weil die ganze Zeit gesagt wird, dass alles, was du siehst, auch zu erlangen ist. Alles, was du siehst in der Ferne, kannst du bereisen. So. Vielleicht gibt es sicherlich irgendwann mal DLCs für irgendwie einen anderen Ort, wo du dann so hin apportieren kannst oder so. Vielleicht sowas wie die anderen Schulen oder so. Maybe, I don't know. Wird das ein MMO? Nein. Also das Spiel ist komplett Singleplayer. Ja. Also komplett. Was ein bisschen mit einer traurigen Träne zu sehen ist für mich. Aber es schließt nicht aus, dass es irgendeine Art von Interaktion mit anderen Spielern geben wird, denke ich mal, durch ja DLCs und Co. Da könnte man bestimmt irgendwie was machen, was da funktionieren würde. Aber ich glaube, auch so ist das einfach. Vielleicht ist es auch besser fürs Spiel. I don't know.
Wonderful guests that I need to introduce you to. First up, we have our community guest host. He brings you the latest and greatest in Hogwarts Legacy content. He's the local Merlin conspiracy theorist.
Guilty as charged, yes.
Also habe das VOD schon ein paar Mal geschaut, leider fallen mir immer wieder ein paar Kleinigkeiten auf, die mich stören. Okay, also erstmal, ich habe den Livestream mitverfolgt und es war ekelhaft, wie der Chat reagiert hat, von zum Beispiel den Dialogen und Interaktionen, dass das clunky aussieht oder sonst irgendwas. Das Spiel kommt in ein paar Monaten erst raus. Ja, das heißt, es ist immer noch in der Entwicklung. So, und sich dann auf solche Sachen zu beziehen und dann darauf zu verharren, fand ich super nervig. Aber egal. Wir gucken einfach mal rein. Wir können das ja selbst mal ein bisschen auseinandernehmen und schauen, was einen da vielleicht stört oder was man daran dann gut findet. Aber wie gesagt, es ist noch in der Entwicklung. Das ist halt wichtig.
One half of Expecto Go,
Yeah.
James Whitehead.
Thanks, Chandler. Yes, I'm James Whitehead of Expecto Go, bringing you guys the latest and greatest in Hogwarts Legacy content. And I am one half of Expecto Go, the better half, my wife Sue. represents that other half. So I'm excited to be here, and thank you, Avalanche Software, for inviting me. I cannot wait to go over this gameplay. I just got to say that.
Welcome, thank you for being here. And we've got two people from the studio, just two of the many people bringing this thing together, the magic of Hogwarts Legacy. Game director, Alan Tu.
Hello, everyone.
And senior environment artist and Hogwarts expert, Boston Madsen. So thank you for taking time out of your very busy schedules right now to sit down with us to help us show everybody gameplay. So what we're going to be showing you today, first, the character creator, because it's your legacy, and you have to create yourself when you get into to get into Hogwarts and bring your whole authentic self to Hogwarts. So we're going to show you that character creator.
Ja, Luca, alles gut.
And we're going to dive into a
Alles
tour
gut.
of Hogwarts.
Es ist mir nur aufgefallen mit dem Satz, dass ich dann darüber nachgedacht habe, wie ich das im Chat empfunden habe.
And it's just a small tour of Hogwarts, right? Because Hogwarts is huge. Hogwarts is really big. So we're going to be showing you a little bit, but it's still a lot. So. And finally, ending up with combat. A little taste of combat.
Also das werden wir alles sehen. Charakter, wie man den erstellt, eine Tour von Hogwarts und so ein bisschen wie das Kampfsystem aufgebaut ist.
A little taste of how all that works.
Let's go.
Just a little taste, yeah. So we're excited to get there. But again, first and foremost, we need to get into this character creator. And James, with you here, we wanted to let you create this character.
Das wäre insane.
So, Andrew, who is going to be doing all of our gameplay capture today, is going to be handing you the controller.
Oh my gosh. All right, I won't break anything. All right, so what are we looking at right here on this screen?
So, das ist der Charakterersteller. Ich pausiere immer mal wieder ein bisschen, wenn mir was auffällt und so weiter und so fort. Aber wichtig zu sagen, in-game footage, work in progress, no?
These are your presets. So a lot like other games, there's some initial settings that you can choose for your character.
Soll ich die Untertitel anmachen? Von YouTube selbst? Oder findet ihr die eher störend? Ich meine, viele werden die nicht brauchen, aber einige ja vielleicht schon.
That just kind of get them into like the ballpark of what you want to be, who you want to be, and what you want to change.
Oh man.
And then once you're in that ballpark, all the other tabs let you dial that in, be exactly who you want to be. It's our goal with this is to make sure that for anyone that fantasized about bringing themselves to the school for the very first time.
Ja, ich denke mal, es ist auch selbsterklärend, theoretisch, was man da so sieht, ne?
That they feel like they have the options in order to represent who they are and essentially bring themselves to Hogwarts or whatever character they want to bring to Hogwarts.
Oh my
nice,
God. And options galore. Do you mind if I try to put myself in here right quick?
This is all about you today.
Okay. All right. So, okay, yeah, that's me. We're here. That's me right there. All right, so that's step one.
We're pretty close, but let's look at everything here. You know, play around with some of these options, like really.
All right, so what are we looking at with this option over here with the tab? I see face stuff.
Yeah, so a lot of the different faces that
Wirklich so, Kai? Nice. Das ist cool.
You saw in the previous screen, all those faces are choices that you have here. So you can.
Also Charaktererstellung finde ich ganz nice. Am Anfang wirkt das so, als wenn du gar nicht so viel selbst bestimmen kannst, aber im Endeffekt sind diese Presets gar nicht so wichtig, sondern erst das, was danach kommt mit den ganzen Reglern und so.
And now you're just kind of getting into the details in your face shape, in your skin color.
Okay.
And then because we knew a lot of people going right in are going to want it right away, even though it's an option later in the game, you can collect different types of glasses, put them on later. We give you some options right up front if you want to have glasses for your character.
Oh man, oh my gosh, look at the structure of the faces with this. Wow, you guys thought of crazy. I like that. I don't think my face is that skinny, but I think we'll go that route. And down here is this.
Man merkt, und das vielleicht irre ich mich dabei, man merkt, dass das Ganze ist ja nicht live gewesen, sondern das war ja vorher produziert und dann im Livestream wiedergegeben. Und ich bin mir sehr sicher, dass dem Typen, dem Community Boy, gesagt wurde, wie schnell er sich entscheiden muss oder was er auch klicken soll oder sonst irgendwas. Also, ich glaube, er hatte eine Anweisung bekommen. Es wirkt irgendwie so.
Those are your glasses there, yeah.
Oh, so we could go Harry Potter if we want. Off the jump. Oh man. And this is just some of the options, I'm assuming?
Yeah, so through the course of the game, there's a lot of different options that you'll keep unlocking.
Okay.
So
Das ist geil. Du kannst halt noch charakterspezifische Gegenstände zum Beispiel, du trägst dann, keine Ahnung, ich glaube Schal oder so oder halt Brillen und Co., die findest du im Spiel irgendwann. Die kannst du quasi unlocken, wenn du die dann findest.
as part of kind of like gear for the character, there's lots of different classes, there's even masks, there's all kinds of things over the course of the game.
I like how it's all Victorian era though.
Yeah,
like,
right up front.
Such a good call. Such a good call. Oh my gosh. All right, so now, we can go fleek on this one with the hair.
I spend a lot of time here just like dreaming about my different characters. And what they're gonna be
gosh, the pony. The thing I'm always amazed by whenever I see any aspects of Hogwarts Legacy's character creator is just the texture. And like you even adding the bounce with the hair moving around. That kind of looks like Hermione a little bit. I'm not even gonna just like fret. I'm not fretting. And we can just go, can I go like Tonks purple or green a little bit?
Absolutely.
Oh. Yo.
Kannst auf jeden Fall wilde Charaktere da machen.
This is so cool. Oh, I like that. That is cute. Oh, okay, so little behind the scenes. I used to have this type of hair like way back, but
was it purple?
I wanted silver tips, so that was the closest I got to any color. But oh my gosh, this is so cool. So you literally can bring yourself. Like it's a myriad of textures and different hairstyles here. All right, so now we're getting over here to play around with some of the...
These are more subtle options. We've
Okay.
got freckles, moles, different things like when it comes to your complexion, like darker eyes, maybe like some shading on the cheeks.
Oh man, you guys literally thought of everything with this.
I do have a bit of fun with that. And then the scars are one of those options where, Harry had
Die Namen finde ich übrigens sehen sehr cool aus.
his own unique scar,
Yeah.
but you can
Also es sieht besser aus, also eher nach einer Narbe aus als bei anderen Spielen mit Charakterdesign, finde ich, die ich gespielt habe.
come in with different
Yours.
scar options.
Yeah. Oh wow. Look at that. I didn't even see that.
Oh, those are my favorite. The eyebrow scars.
Yeah.
Love those.
Yeah. You look kind of
It's a
like
classic.
Yeah, you look kind of just like tough. But anyway. So now we're over here. Oh man. You guys. This is so sick.
Again, getting more subtle here, really like dialing in that face to really get your...
I don't know how revealing I want to be with my facial features now. Just like, I kind of have a big face. Yeah, my eyebrows kind of sit kind of low. But I mean, literally, you have so many options just starting the game. I feel like I'm going to be here like forever.
Yeah, you and me both.
And then this final tab here, this is where you kind of bring your whole character together. This is where you finalize everything.
Das finde ich interessant mit dem Voice-Design, was
You're
jetzt
not choosing
kommt.
your house here.
Okay.
That's not yet.
That was a theory.
But here's where you bring you choose voice 1 or voice 2, which is more kind of a masculine or a feminine voice, and then even within that, changing your pitch,
with
the pitch slider.
It's a subtle slider, but
Yeah.
but you can hear it,
Concerned about. That was quite something.
and so you can kind of make out the differences. But yeah, you choose which kind of voice that you want. You'll be selecting your difficulty here. For today, we'll just go normal because Andrew's going to be taking us through some of the experiences with combat later.
And we can talk a little more about difficulty, with combat and
Das mit den Namen hat mich überrascht, weil ich dachte, dass mindestens der Last Name fix ist. Wieso hast du das gedacht?
how that plays in.
That is
But
a
I
big
think
question.
the important thing here is like if for people who aren't gamers especially,
Right.
story mode is a way to get into this without being worried about like, oh, do I need to be good at games? Like, no, just enjoy.
Das ist auch super cool, diese Funktion mit Story. Quasi wirklich, die das erleben wollen und das eigentlich nicht können. Also noch nie, die kein Interesse haben an Videospielen generell, aber sehr viel Interesse an sowas wie Harry Potter oder Hogwarts und so weiter haben. Dass sie dann so einen Story-Modus spielen können, der komplett sich darauf fokussiert. Das ist mega nice.
Enjoy this game.
And I would put expecto.
Ja, zu der heutigen Zeit, Luca.
We're good. Awesome.
And then whether you want to be witch or wizard.
Es ist ja ein Weg drumherum, indem man halt den Namen zum Beispiel nicht nutzt in Konversationen.
Amazing.
What'd you think? Character creator, we're good?
I'm good. Let's explore Hogwarts and let's get into some combat.
All right, through the
Kein Multiplayer.
magic of using a dev kit, we're gonna
Zero.
be loading up a save a little later in so that we can show you more about Hogwarts and give you that taste of combat. All right, Andrew's got some gameplay pulled up for us here. We are starting out, James. There you are. You're wearing the House Fanatic robes from the account linking.
Thank you.
Hufflepuff.
Yeah, I do look good. And this is our first look at the Hufflepuff common room, I'm assuming. I mean, dorm room.
The dorm room.
Yeah. This is awesome. But Alan, what do we...
Das ist übrigens das Menü. Na? Unten rechts hast du die Spells und so weiter. Das ist sogar noch, das geht richtig weit, das mit den Spells. Also, das sind, glaube ich, dann insgesamt 16 verschiedene Spells, die du quasi dann kombinieren kannst oder so. Und dann hast du links eine Minimap und so weiter. Also, da gehen die halt noch drauf ein, aber es ist schon ganz cool aufgebaut. Also, das UI gefällt mir.
What are we seeing right here with the UI? Because this is our first look.
So right now we know there's been a lot of questions about the HUD because this is the first time we're showing it. So kind of going over it from right to left. On the bottom right is what we call our spell button. So those are, everything that you see in it are slottable spells. So we have over 20 slottable spells that you can earn over the course of the game.
Okay.
And that's where the player can place them and use
Wie cool auch das mit dem Bild und so weiter. Natürlich ist das klar, dass sie sich bewegen, aber das ist halt auch da.
them and access them very quickly. To the top left of that is you'll see the D-pad, and on the left is an eyeball, and on the right is a bit of a grid. So the eyeball is an example of one of, not a slottable spell, but what we call an essential spell. There are certain spells that are used in very specific contexts or that we just want on the controller at all times. And Revelo is one of those. That's left on the D-pad. On the right on the D-pad is that grid represents where you might slot spells. And so right now, today, we're not going to be going into the spell slotting menu because we feel like there's a lot of spoilers there. You know, like what are all the spells and what can we do?
I would like spoilers, but I understand.
But we do want to make sure there's still some goodies left to share with everyone. And then on the left side, that thing that has the L1 button next to it, that's another thing where we don't want to spoil, but basically that's where you access your tool wheel. So there's a lot of magical tools that you're going to be kind of brewing and growing over the course of the game. And so that's where you would access them rapidly is our tool wheel.
Okay, cool.
There are a few things that I left off the table on the right. The green bar is your health, and basically there's a potion next to it. That's how you might heal. The bar above it, we're keeping a secret for now. I apologize. And all the way on the left is our mini-map with a kind of overhead view of where you are currently in your common room that updates as you travel through Hogwarts and beyond out into the world. And for those fans out there that aren't a huge fan of minimaps, because we know they exist, there's also options to remove the minimap and turn on or off different elements of our HUD.
Really immerse yourself.
And we'll go more into the spells as we get into combat, but that's kind of, that's what you're seeing there. And this is our HUD.
Also, Andrew's giving us a good look over here. I want to call out. I'm a big fan of the bedside tables in the dormitories.
Auch die Mülleimer, die einfach komplett voll sind so.
Very nice bedside tables.
They are nice bedside tables.
Yeah.
The honey-colored wood was mentioned in the writing. It's part of lore.
It's part of lore. There we go. All right.
So now we're walking out into...
We really tried making these low-ceilinged dorms to give you that Badger set sort of feel.
And the first thing I know is the music. The score is amazing with this.
Gorgeous.
And I'm calling out here, this is unique music that you're hearing for the Hufflepuff Common Room. Go back to those Common Room videos we released.
Junge, wie geil das
a little
aussieht.
bit different, and that is entirely intentional.
We just want to welcome you to...
Ob das Rätsel oder Quests sind? Das grüne Feuer? Das sind wahrscheinlich Quests, so, ne? So Side-Quests oder so. So wirkt das.
Intentional.
Clever, die sind Hufflepuff, weil das die wenigsten wählen werden. Tatsächlich muss ich gestehen, also das ist Flohnetzwerk. Ah ja, macht Sinn. Das macht tatsächlich Sinn, aber das ist ja gar kein Kamin. Also das mit Hufflepuff, der sieht verdammt schön aus, ey. Das sieht richtig, richtig geil aus da. Flohnetzwerk macht Sinn durch die grüne Farbe und das Feuer und so, aber musst du da das Pulver rausnehmen? Weil eigentlich musst du ja in den Kamin gehen und so, oder?
Entirely intentional.
We just want to welcome you to your common room in every single house, just a little bit differently. So you can customize that experience.
Es sieht so krass
Oh my
aus.
gosh, that's so awesome. Look at that.
So I mean, beautiful design.
War da gerade eine
Guys, it's so
Katze?
awesome.
Nee.
Look
Sah
at
so aus.
that.
So I mean, beautiful design. We could spend like the entire rest of the stream just in the common room here and talking about it, and I'm sure Boston and James could be like just geeking out over it.
All the details come from J.K. Rowling's writing.
Ja, okay, Luco, da bist du ja schon ein bisschen mehr in die Materie reingegangen. Ich gucke das jetzt zum zweiten Mal. Beim ersten Mal habe ich das so nebenbei geguckt. Deswegen fällt mir eine Menge nicht auf wahrscheinlich.
Hanging vines, even the dancing badgers on the
It's
fireplace.
got a real earthy vibe.
Yeah.
It's very, very earthy.
Which is like elements for each of the houses, right? Like
Hufflepuff is earth, Ravenclaw's air, Gryffindor is fire, and Slytherin is water. We
Wow.
really leaned into that for each common room.
Wow.
So if it feels earthy, we've got a little earthen passageway.
Ich bin ja Ravenclaw, ich bin sehr
Hopefully,
gespannt.
it should feel very familiar.
Yeah, it does. It does.
but I know you don't want to leave, but we're gonna be leaving.
Und ihr wisst ja, ihr könnt quasi euren Account, wo ihr zum Beispiel euer Haus und die Fragen beantwortet habt für euren Patronus, das könnt ihr ja verknüpfen, ne, mit dem Game. Habe ich auch schon gemacht.
Thank you. I understand. Whoa, the sound effects though. Like looking back at this,
Voll nice.
This music, but kind of hearing how Hogwarts is now. It's so cool.
Very tactile.
Yeah.
Andrew's going to make use of one of our spells, Revelio.
Use Revelio right here because there's a little magic going on.
You notice a little something there. Yeah. So these are
Oh, die Mucke, ey.
something that we kind of interchangeably call Revelio pages or lore pages. And you'll notice a bunch of things pop up on the screen.
Yeah.
You see that we got some
XP.
XP for it.
Mhm.
And you can also see that we've advanced something called like a field guide challenge up in the corner.
Uh-huh.
So I want to talk about that a little bit. So we had to ask ourselves, what?
Continue. I'm sorry.
There may be something you may or may not be able to tickle there.
Yeah.
Ja, crazy.
But in our game, we had to answer the question, you know, we're a late fifth year. What does that mean? How do we catch up to the other students?
Das
Okay.
Peeves.
Okay.
And so we have an answer to that question.
Poltergeist.
And it's given to you by the staff. So there's something that we call the Wizard's Field Guide that's granted to you early on in the game. And the Wizard's Field Guide is how you actually work on catching up with the other students. So Andrew, if you hit pause for me up here, before you push forward a little bit,
Ah ja, da ist es auch wieder.
you can see in our pause menu, it's got this book theme.
Wow.
That's your Wizard's
Das
Field
sieht richtig geil aus, finde ich. Das sieht so cool aus. Oder? Das sieht hammer nice aus, das Menü. Talents. Progress through the main story to unlock collections. Challenges. Auch sehr interessant. Quests, Map, Old Post, Settings und das allgemeine Level mit dem Gear.
Guide, and you can see your house kind of
Right,
crest
in the middle,
overlaid
yeah.
over it.
Okay,
right? And you
okay.
can see that on your level as well. So that the field guide has this magical property of looking out into the world around
wie es
you.
animiert
And
ist,
the
yes.
reason why it's on loan from the Ministry of Magic and the professors
So
have
cool.
granted it to you as a late fifth year student is because they want it to help you catch up to the other kids.
Weißt du schon,
And
welches
its
Haus
magical
du wählst? Yes, Ravenclaw. Die ganze Zeit habe ich gedacht, ich lasse den Zufall entscheiden und dann habe ich diese Tests gemacht und so mit den Patronus und auch mit den Häusern und so und immer wieder Ravenclaw bekommen. Und ich habe ja selbst den entsprechenden Hut hier. Und der ist ja auch random. Und das erste Mal, als ich raufgedrückt habe, kam auch Ravenclaw. Dann dachte ich, ach so, ja, komm, dann gehen wir Ravenclaw.
Is to discover different opportunities to learn and grow all around you. So the way it works is
Na,
as you
Massaker,
discover
wozu?
gameplay in the game, it actually recognizes that as a challenge, which is kind of
On the bottom.
locked into there.
Okay.
And Andrew, if you go in there,
Ja, bei
you'll
Pottermore,
see
genau.
different
Und
types
Pottermore
of
kannst du mit dem
challenges
Spiel
that are combat
verknüpfen.
challenges,
Wow.
quests.
Das sieht so cool aus, ey. Oben hast du dann nochmal das Menü extra. Hier Raum der Wünsche hast du da ganz rechts. Das ist so quasi dein Personal Space. Quests, das ist so cool. 1% Field Guide Pages.
Challenges,
Wow.
exploration challenges, and you can see
Ich
field
bin
guide
ein
pages are on
Muggel.
there as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
1%.
Imagine.
Yeah, like that one field guide page. Yeah.
That entire category is one of the ways that the book itself kind of fills out into the school.
Man
and
kann
fills
auch bei
out into
Pottermore
the
einen Avatar
school,
stellen.
and
Ach,
kind of
wirklich?
hides itself with
Das
different
wusste ich
types
nicht.
of challenges and different things to do around the
Nice.
school
Danke für die
that
Info.
you're actually going
So
to
cool.
interact with to help you grow as a wizard and practice your spells. And so that thing that we just saw is not just a field guide challenge and a way to earn XP. It's also something that that players can use to learn about the school as they're traveling around. They spot these little secret facts, and they can kind of play a little bit of a game discovering all of them. And there are over 100 field guide pages just in Hogwarts alone. So.
Little glimpse of the grand staircase here. We're not gonna...
Circular staircase.
All the portraits. And I did notice the Flu Flame.
Circular staircase.
Okay. Flow Flames, ja, das Flow-Netzwerk. Okay.
Portraits. And I did notice the Flu Flame just ignite right there, which was so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Wo kann man herausfinden, welches Haus man ist? Warte kurz, ich kann ja mal die Seite dazu raussuchen. Da wird es. Ah, hier, Creator Portrait. Ravenclaw, hier sieht man es, ne? Das ist schon... Das ist meine Welt hier. Dann die scheiß Libelle, Alter. Freaking Patronus-Kack-Drecksding. Also das ist wirklich, ich glaube, es gibt nichts, was weniger impulsant und majestätisch sein kann, ja? Als das Drecksding hier. Können wir machen, aber nicht heute. Oder ich mach das so.
Fast travel points there. House hourglasses. We had to.
Junge, wie das aussieht hier, Mann.
How much fun was it designing those and putting all those in
gorgeous,
there? But
das ist für die Punkte, ne? Ja,
they're
richtig.
just like in the books.
Yes.
Right next to the Great Hall.
It's a nod to lore. House
Ja, das ist für die Punkte der Häuser.
points is not a core mechanic or system in the
Yeah,
game.
we didn't turn it
narratively.
into like a gameplay system, but it's definitely present throughout our narrative. And there are lots of choices where we want to nod to
Sind keine mit drin, ja, keine Hauspunkte, ja.
things that aren't necessarily gameplay systems, but we nod to them as part of the narrative.
Over to the right
Part of the
there,
Wizard
Andrew
World.
was teasing. That's the Great Hall over through those doors. Again, we're not going there.
Oh, die gehen nicht in die
He's
große
just
Halle.
kind of like, no.
Cool.
Here's another collectible page. You know, just again showing you like just these things around Hogwarts that you can
Gott, die Mucke dabei.
do and pick up and.
That's a shot straight from the trailer too. Just that part right there. I recognize
We
that.
might be giving you a little fan service here with callbacks to those. So.
And this must be summertime, because I noticed these are the summertime windows. These windows will change with the seasons.
Yeah, the detail they put into this is kind of it. I get surprised by it all the time.
That's
didn't
a
even know that was a
sentient
thing.
magic castle. So.
Oh man. And we're going out. Look at that.
Alter, das ist so sick, wie das draußen aussieht. Was da hinten drauf? Ein Wieso? Dachs.
That.
This is where the students would normally kind of congregate, just to kind of chill out, play, meet each other outside the Great Hall before and after meals.
And I love the way.
In welchem Zeit spielt das Game eigentlich? Ich glaube, also vor der ganzen Harry Potter Geschichte, aber du hast da Charaktere, die auch in den Büchern vorkommen. Das heißt, es sind Jahre davor, aber ich weiß nicht, wie viele.
That when the castle interconnects to
Das haben sie aber mal gesagt. Also irgendwo kann man das rauskriegen.
that it interconnects
wahrscheinlich googeln.
outside, inside. There are pathways on both sides of things, so you really get a sense of scope to how big this castle
And when
is.
you see things like
Ist auch nice, dass das Flow-Netzwerk automatisch aktualisiert wird. Du musst nicht überall rangehen.
you'll notice a bridge over there. That's a place you can go to and cross. Like everything that you see is a place.
Boah,
that you can
Alter.
visit.
Und hier, da fliegen sie oben lang, ne? Auf dem Besen.
Wow.
We tried
Und alles, was du siehst, kannst du besuchen.
so we put a lot of effort into making it feel really alive, not just with student population.
Macht Sinn, Crazy sogar, weil das ja auch Teil der Geschichte ist. Also der Quests und so. Das hat man ja gemerkt durch die Story. Guck dir das an, ey.
But even just the greenery and stuff, it's Scotland.
Yeah.
And this castle's been here for hundreds of years, so just kind of the moss and all the trees that have overgrown it. And
Später 1800,
Gosh.
ja. Ja, kommt
That
jetzt so ungefähr hin.
Scottish.
Ja.
Location might look a little familiar to you.
I thought I recognized it. I believe this is from.
Viele regen sich halt auf über die Charaktere, über die NPCs quasi, ne? Das sieht alles ein bisschen clunky aus und so weiter. Ich habe auch Angst, dass es halt sich rausstellt, dass es so Bug-Memes geben wird, dass es halt problematisch ist mit den Charakteren, mit den NPCs, weil die, glaube ich, das größte Problem darstellen. Aber es ist nach wie vor noch Work in Progress, aber mal gucken, ne?
Spring ASMR, and yes, so that puzzle right there, that view, Andrew is taking us right back to that.
I'm gonna tell Andrew not to interact with that puzzle and to keep moving on.
Hast du Regenwolke da gesehen?
We can't spoil everything. We can't give you everything, right?
Hogwarts contains a lot of secrets.
Dass es rückwirkt vom Sound her. Ah, du meinst, dass du keine Gespräche aufhängst und so weiter? Von NPCs? Von den Gruppen und so?
Oh my God.
But this is this grand entryway right here coming down into a really kind of central area.
Yeah, we're coming upon the central hall, and we pointed out the green.
Grafik finde ich bisher nicht so meine ebenfalls Konsole. Ich finde sie nice. Also, aber ich bin auch keine Grafikhure.
Outside, and we'll notice when we get down there that it's on the right.
This is a big hub of the school. Like it's a big castle, but it is designed so you shouldn't get very lost. This is kind of a grand central station.
Das sieht so cool aus.
I love that. I love
Each
that.
direction, you know, it's green over there, so the greenhouse is over there. Transfiguration courtyard.
Schatten und Licht kommt gleich.
You know, the library straight ahead, so it's kind of the hub
Oh my
of a
God.
lot of the castle.
Das
Even
zum
the
Beispiel.
color, visually, you can just tell, okay, green,
Oh, green, go
greenhouse.
that way.
Oh my
I
God.
should,
Da kommt aber noch ein bisschen mehr.
a lot of it'll be subconscious, but
Yeah.
it'll help you really learn the castle and feel like you know your way around.
That's not to say that it's easy to learn. All of us here still get pretty lost in it
It
on a
is a
daily
castle.
basis.
It
It's a
is.
castle.
Great point.
I love that Andrew's definitely teasing a lot of things here. I'm noticing he's swinging the camera this way and that.
Man merkt aber, das muss ich gestehen, bei den großen Türen zeigen sie manchmal nicht, wie er da rausgeht. Weil bisher wirkte es so, als wenn du keine Ladesequenzen hast. Und normalerweise sind die halt versteckt hinter Animationen oder so, wenn du eine Tür aufmachst und so weiter. Nur hier, gerade bei dieser Tür, wo es halt zum großen neuen Gebiet geht, haben sie die Kamera nicht auf dem Spiel gehabt, was mich sehr wundert.
Yeah.
He's got this grin on his face over there that's just like, yeah, I know what
That
I'm doing.
statue
I know
is
what I'm
from the reveal trailer. There's that dragon. Oh my
This
God.
is another location where the students will gather, you know, and
Läuft auf einer Dev-Konsole, sollte man im Kopf haben wegen Licht und Grafik, ja.
just kind of chill out.
And an opportunity to talk to somebody, get a
Yeah.
quest giver here.
Sieht halt nicht beeindruckend aus, da, die anderen Charaktere.
Is everything all right?
Und hier haben sich eine Menge darüber aufgeregt, wie die halt miteinander kommunizieren, so diese Mimik, die nicht vorhanden ist und ein bisschen Asynchrone, also ein Kram, aber wie gesagt, es ist alles Work in Progress noch.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm Nellie, by the way. I'm just so excited that the Daedalian keys are back.
The what keys?
The Daedalian keys. Surely you've seen them flying about. Rumour is that a former headmistress, Professor Mole, conjured them to protect the contents of certain locked cabinets years ago. Professor Black couldn't be bothered to disenchant the keys, and
Also der Sound ist nicht optimal auf
they
jeden Fall,
appear
ja.
every few years. You should try to catch one.
Why would I do that?
Each key will lead you to a locked cabinet somewhere in the castle. If you can manage to get the key into the cabinet lock, not an easy task, you may find a reward.
Und wie gesagt,
Perhaps
Work
I'll
in
give it a go.
Progress. Der Typ im Hintergrund.
Hope you do. In fact, I think I heard one of the keys in the astronomy tower. You should listen for them.
So those kind of
I
side
hope
quests are
you
really, it's a cool way to interact
If you manage to
with
open a
your
cabinet.
fellow students, with perhaps other teachers, with, you know, various things like that, as well as teach you some more of the secrets of Hogwarts, I think. There's a
in this
little
case,
bit of that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So the students are a way to kind of like flesh out the school opportunities around it, what we can do, and then those interactions, different interactions with different characters can also offer different choice points for the player, and then some of those things can affect things game wide. Some of these affect characters' lives, the ending of the game.
And sometimes it's just about you being a little bit of a
Sometimes
nice
just about
guy
the
or just
mission.
being a jerk.
Yes, absolutely. So the scale really varies, but those opportunities exist for the player.
Wow, look at this.
This is the Dada Defense Against the Dark Arts
Power.
Tower, which this is one of my favorite locations in in the castle, just visually. You come in here and just
Ja, mit dem Licht jetzt sieht man es halt auch richtig, ne?
the richness of
It
this
is
area.
very iconic, very unique to anywhere else in the castle.
Somebody else that we can talk to, notably a younger student.
Yeah, she looks like a first year or an 11-year-old.
Are you all right?
Don't you know who I am? Zenobia Noak, the girl whom
Halt, ne, weil es ja eine Halle ist. Das war aber eben gerade draußen auch ein bisschen der Fall. Und du hast keinerlei anderen Hintergrundgeräusche. So, das ist schon weird.
everyone at school hates for no reason.
Aber ich glaube, das wird alles noch gefixt, hoffentlich. Weil das fällt ja auf.
Everyone hates you. Why?
Because Hogwarts is full of bullies and spoil sports.
Oha.
Leander Pruitt's one of the worst, that no-talent moon mind. I wanted to make some new friends, and so I brought my collection down to the common room. My gobstone collection, that is. I was hoping someone would want to play. Are you familiar with gobstones? Little balls, like marbles. Grand game. And if you lose, they spray you with a foul-smelling liquid.
Boah.
I haven't much interest in a game that sprays you with odors.
Only if you lose, which I never do. Or at least, not often.
Nee, Kasach.
People can be so cruel.
Früher.
Just because they're sprayed all over with smelly gobstone spit, it's their own fault for losing. Imelda is one of the worst losers. Everett and Astoria are terrible as well. And now those poor losers have taken my gobstones and hidden them in very high places all over the school.
Ich frage mich, ob es da eine deutsche Übersetzung, Synchronisation gibt oder halt quasi einfach nur übersetzt mit Untertitel. Das würde ich interessant finden, weil ich glaube, das wäre auch nochmal ein krasser Aufwand. Ich finde die Quest halt ungünstig, wenn man danach sagt, dass Koboldstein nicht drin ist. Ja, das ist komisch, dass sie das ausgewählt haben, quasi dafür, ne? Also warum zeigen sie das, wenn sie genau dann das gar nicht anbieten?
Sounds as if you caused the smelly situation and they responded accordingly.
I didn't make the rules. Anyway, I can't work out how to get them back on
Wird
my
deutsche
own.
Vertonung geben?
I don't think I know the necessary spells yet.
Ich hoffe, die ist
I
gut.
need someone, perhaps a selfless and talented fifth year to help me.
I'll see what I can do.
I'd appreciate the help. If you do find all of my gobstones, do come and see me again.
Gott, das wäre so ein fucking Dream, wenn man dann eine Synchronrolle hätte, eine, die halt einigermaßen wichtig ist. Gottes
I'll be
Willen wäre
back
es
to
nice.
playing Snake Pit and Jackstone by myself in no time.
I love that interaction with her because there's so many ways that you can go with that. You can you can feel for her. You can be a jerk to her. You can be like, Gobstone sounds awful. It sounds like you're just mean.
Yeah, and your opportunities to be mean there aren't over. So,
they continue.
That's a good example of the
Gobstones too. I know people are gonna ask. Gobstones playable? They mentioned it, right?
Yeah. Gobstones
Jetzt kommen wir dazu.
is one of the things that is not playable in the game. I know we've had to rip the Band-Aid off on a few things. Honestly, it's an amazing thing on the franchise how many things about this like speak to us as fans and that we want to turn into gameplay. And there were calls that we had to make over the course of production of kind of like which things we will and won't include in the bucket, just kind of for the overall health
Wizard's
of the thing.
chest.
Those are things that aren't featured.
Yeah. They're featured within the world. Right?
I'm glad they're mentioned. They're a part of the wizarding world.
Yeah. Every single time
Part of
there was something that
students'
Das Licht schon nice hier.
we regretted because we couldn't include it. We also tried to figure out a way to make sure that it was included in the narrative, included in the stories, made sure that there's a way to kind of like acknowledge it, touch it, and make it feel like it's definitely part of the world.
Koboldstein. Ist ein Spiel.
We're like,
I was like, we're in the Defense Against the Dark Arts class. I recognize that staircase to the left.
Also das, was Feind Zenobias Gobstones. Und Gobstone ist ein Spiel, aber das ist im Spiel nicht spielbar. Das ist das.
Just Andrew was walking by. I also recognize the dragon at the very top. Oh my God.
Ja, wir kennen den Raum, ne?
being in a classroom, I think this.
Verteidigung dunklen Künste. Mit da, wo die Schmalzlocke die Viecher rausgelassen hat und
It's
so.
a good opportunity to talk about
Das von der Decke
how
gefallen
classes
ist
work,
dann.
because we've gotten a lot of questions about that. Is it a schedule-based system? Is it to tell us how classes work?
Yeah, so ultimately we decided not to go the sim route. So I think like one of the speculations was, is there time of day and you know, that kind of thing. Like, can I miss class at this time of day?
There is a day-night cycle.
Yeah, there is a day-night cycle, but everything is very narrative-based, and so there's a big mystery going on in the world. There's something happening in the narrative, and we essentially see it as kind of like chapters in that narrative, each chapter of which has a set of missions that you can choose between as you're progressing through the game, and classes fit within that structure. So there are mainline things that the players have to do, and then classes also appear on the sides as well as optional things that help you advance your spells. It's absolutely true that classes provide all of your major tools throughout the gameplay, your spells, your major abilities. You get to know the professors. Each one of them has these bespoke
Rufus Beck ist auch eine Legende dafür, ey. Also so gut, dass er das gemacht hat, und er macht es halt auch so unglaublich gut.
events and moments in those missions. And then there are also
Die
additional
Hörbücher.
opportunities outside of that through kind of like side classroom missions essentially, where you can learn additional spells or things that you need in your event.
Imagine, es wäre wirklich so, dass du in die Klasse gehen müsstest, von 6 Uhr bis 13 Uhr oder so in verschiedene Unterrichtsfächer gehen müsstest in dem Spiel.
And also get to know the professors.
Das hoffe ich auch, Luca. Das wäre super cool. Eine wichtige Rolle, hoffentlich.
I want to call out something that Andrew's been kind of showing off, ways to kind of interact with the environment and just engage with the world. And, you know, maybe down there he's sipping some tea with the
Victorian high, you know.
high society.
High society.
And it's no wonder you like this area because we built it for like the purebloods and the Slytherins.
Oh, come on.
Well, like, speaking of lived in, like, the sound effects again, the chatter of the communication that's happening and the footsteps, like, it just makes it feel more alive.
Little events like that, brooms going
I
by
just saw a broom go
overhead.
by. Love that.
Auch wenn das ist halt so weird, dass also man merkt, er sollte das sagen. Also, tut mir leid, aber das, was der Boy im gelben T-Shirt oder im gelben Pullover da sagt, fühlt sich alles wie vorher geklärt an. Also so von wegen, ja, erwähne das, das und das und das. So, also es wirkt studiert. I don't know. Weil gerade das mit dem Sound zum Beispiel ist ja etwas, was auffällt, was nicht so gut ist, wie man sich das vielleicht wünschen würde. Weil er sagt, das fühlt sich lebendig an. Ja, das fühlt sich nicht wirklich lebendig an, es sei denn, du stehst ganz nah an den Personen. Aber es ist ja auch noch Work in Progress. Aber ich finde es halt nur verwirrend, wenn er das so erzählt. Hyped auch etwas cringe, ja.
The data tower was one example, but no two hallways should look the same in Hogwarts. It has a lot of personality. Every hallway should be a little bit different, and that's mostly to help
Die ganzen
orient the player,
Details sind so
help
krass.
you not get lost. But this is Hesperus Hall. That's a little nod from the Marauders, a name that came from the Marauders map. But every hallway will have a little bit of a different personality and
Personality, I like that, because
Yeah,
it
a lot of
does, like,
character.
Hogwarts has character. Hogwarts is its own character no matter where you go.
Yeah.
Feels just a little bit different.
Da kann man nicht rein. Level 1 Lock.
sentient castle full of magic for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
It's going to
Also es gibt Räume, wo du erst rein kannst, wenn du ein höheres Level hast.
kind of
And
grow and
full
develop.
of,
Oh, I heard something.
Yeah. Speaking of characters.
Speaking of
Na, Peeves.
magic, Mr. Magic himself.
My feature poltergeist too.
you know, we talked about building on lore too. I know there's that statue over to the side. That's
Do you know who that
Ja,
is?
Luca glaube ich auch nicht.
Lachlan the Lanky,
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
got his Bowtruckle friend. And I think if players don't know, there's another
Well,
Revelio
sorry.
page there.
Yeah, there's a map of Argyllshire. We know the fat lady hides
It
there.
hides behind it. That's right.
The third book. But sometimes a hallway has personality by how it looks, or we just passed a music hallway where the portraits have kind of taken it over, and so the sound makes it really unique.
All right, I gotta call this out here. I know there's been some criticism in the past that our trailers and our gameplay and what we've shown so far has not had enough owls. Okay, so here we are at the owlery. We're looking directly at the owlery to show you all of the owls.
It's a lot of owls.
It's a lot of owls at the owlery.
I love
all
the
the
fog
owls.
rolling down that.
Great callback. Great call.
No, I also love that one of my favorite things about just kind of going around on the outside of the school is that all those things that I see are places that I can go to.
Siehst du, alle Sachen, die man draußen sieht, sind Sachen, wo du hingehen kannst.
That I can visit. I just love that sensation, knowing that is real.
Das ist auch so wichtig für das Spiel.
We're kind of closing out our mini tour of Hogwarts, and again, it's but a fraction of this enormous castle.
Ja, Luca.
But we're closing it out here in the clock tower, so another recognizable location.
Yeah.
But this is where Crossed Wands, which is the secret, not so secret dueling club, is that the students have put together. Professors definitely know about it, but they think they're being clever. And it's run by this Lucan Brattleby here.
Who's in a younger year, but we kind of like that that he's running things.
Hello, Lucan. May I use the training dummy?
Of course. I'll fetch it and give you a list of combinations to practice. Ready to have a try now?
That would be wonderful.
Be sure to cast all your spells before the dummy lands. If you need to stop practicing before you finish all of them, let me know.
And this is a really good opportunity to now jump into combat, because really in the game, this is going to be the first time where you yourself get to learn about combat and combos in a big way and in a new way. For me personally, this was where the game really starts to open up to the possibilities.
Yeah. So we've set up a training dummy, and this is kind of an activity where you're supposed to execute.
Den kennen wir ja, einen Dummy vom Raum der Wünsche, als sie ihren Club gegründet haben gegen die dunklen Künste.
According to kind of the iconography on the top. Now, what we see on the top is the Accio spell, followed by 4 what we just kind of lovingly refer to as basic shots. There's certain spells what the wizards kind of use, just kind of fling. Andrew's using one now. And you trigger that by tapping R2 on your controller. So you can see in the corner R2. So if you tap R2, that throws out a basic shot. But that R2 is also your gateway to all of the spells that you might slot. So if you hold R2 instead, you can see how the diamond expands. And if we let go, you see how it contracts.
Yeah.
Quidditch noch als Zusatzinhalt wäre cool, das Game wird so geil. Yes, das habe ich auch gehört, dass Quidditch ja gar nicht mit drin sein soll. Und das ist etwas, was ein großer für mich jetzt Negativaspekt ist, weil das ein riesen Gebiet ist in den Büchern. Es hat so einen wichtigen Punkt einfach, und dass sie das halt nicht implementiert haben, ist super schade, aber das ist etwas, was theoretisch gesehen als DLC oder sowas noch möglich wäre im Nachhinein, oder?
And so if you hold it again, it expands. And so when it expands, then all the spells that you slotted while you're holding that button can now be tapped with your face buttons.
Awesome.
And not only that, but over the course of the game,
Da kommen wir wirklich geil,
you can gain additional spell diamonds, up to 4 additional ones, so that you can slot up to 16 spells, pretty much instantly. And then that helped us fulfill the fantasy of in combat, I need to be able to access things very rapidly.
Yeah.
And so you learn over the course of these events, how to juggle not just the spell casting, but also it reinforces an understanding of another feature of the wheel, which is their cooldowns.
Das ist mega nice. Das Feedback vom Sound finde ich auch sehr cool. Hat ein bisschen was von Valorant.
Not just kind of repeatedly using one thing.
Mit den Headshots.
Right.
You can see cooldowns on the spells that he's using on the wheel. And then as you progress through the game, there are different things that can affect things, like cooldowns through your talents, different things that allow you to kind of juggle and adjust and update those things. And so
Maybe, Luca,
if you hold down R2 and you
Würde
tap
mich freuen.
the D-pad, it will switch between your other diamonds if you've unlocked them. And that's how you access all those.
Oh, man. It looks like we're about to get some action over here.
Yeah. So this is a great way to kind of learn how to pull things together,
So you
pull those
Leviosa
combos
right
together.
Here. Yeah. Tap, Accio, tap, tap, tap. Awesome.
Well done,
Andrew.
And that's just against the dummy, but I mean,
I'd say that's
Da muss man sagen, das wirkt mega smooth. Das auch mit den verschiedenen Möglichkeiten und so.
enough practice. You looked good out there.
Thank you, Lucan.
I say better to discover one's weaknesses during practice than during a duel. You'll be a fearsome challenger now.
I think now we can take on something a little more challenging. It's going to shoot back.
Now let's talk about some more features of the combat system.
Hello, Lucan. Is the next round of crossed wands all set?
Why, yes it is. I've got a great match lined up. Ready for another round?
We're on a PS5 dev kit here, so we're going to be able to kind of pause the action and talk about what you're seeing on the screen, because there is about to be a lot going on.
Okay.
All right, here you can select if you want to fight with somebody else, some of your classmates. But in this case, we're not. We want that action to feel a little more frantic towards you to really get you that sense of combat.
So apparently you've got quite the reputation because they've got you up against 3 people.
Off the jump.
So I can explain this just because I know people are going to go into it, but we can probably just kind of jump in. So you're not the only one that has Protego and the ability to deflect. The enemies do too. And we actually play with that when it comes to the spell casting. So you notice that there are different colored kind of shields around the different characters. And you also notice that your spells have different colors on them. So to help players understand kind of like the function of their spells, we're trying to put them into
Das sah mega cool aus.
brackets. So there are damage spells, there are
Wie er es geblockt hat.
understand kind of like the
Das jetzt.
function of their spells.
Das.
We're trying to put them into brackets. So
Mega
there are
nice.
damage spells, there are force spells, there are, I'm forgetting the other one, all this control spells. And so those things for the player, they wind up also being a color indicator for which actual spell to use to break the different shields that enemies can use. That way it rewards kind of like that close attention that you're paying on things.
We've got this paused here now, and you can kind of see all the elements on the screen, the halo around the avatar's head, each of the different shields, to kind of give us a breakdown of what's going on.
Give us a breakdown of different things that you're saying.
Ja, Luca, auf jeden
So
Fall.
you notice at the top.
Ich habe es auch schon auf Steam vorbestellt. Ich habe die Collectors Edition nicht vorbestellt, weil ich die ziemlich scammy fand. Leider. Wirklich sehr traurig drüber. Obwohl ich hier ein Regal voller Harry Potter Merch, Shit und Special Sachen habe und so. Aber ich weiß nicht, ob ich sie mir im Nachhinein nochmal hole, einfach damit ich es habe, weil ich habe so viele Sachen und das wäre dann traurig, wenn ich das nicht hätte, aber ich habe mich echt ein bisschen gescampt gefühlt, als ich das gesehen habe.
That we're kind of like calling out which enemy you currently have targeted and their level and health, and so as you target different characters, you'll be able to get that breakdown. The halo over your head, whenever an enemy is about to an attack, it's almost like you have a little bit of a sixth sense for those things that are coming. If you see the halo, it means there's an incoming attack, and if you tap the triangle button by default, then that you'll be able to deflect that attack that comes in and off with the Protego.
And I love that deflect where it goes off and like hits things up and kind of breaks things off walls too.
But also, if you hold the button, then it doesn't.
Das ist halt mega nice, wenn du Protego halt hast und der Spell schießt woanders hin, kannst du dein Environment damit zerstören. Also es hat halt Einfluss, wo es hinfliegt. Ist mega cool.
It doesn't just deflect, it also deflects and turns around with a counter-attack stupefy that actually stuns the enemy. And you can use that even in your combos and stuff. So if you're focused on a character, and you're doing your thing, and someone else attacks you, you can actually turn that attack into a direct attack on the person that you're comboing.
Back into gameplay here. Andrew's gonna pretty handily finish these other students off here, win this duel.
How fast it is. It's like
Ouch.
a dance.
Yeah, we really felt like the
Heiltrank
we
gegönnt.
really felt like in the movies there's almost like it's kind of like there's this element of kind of like fencing from a very great distance.
That's such a good call.
And there are a lot of things that we had to do with our controls and combat system in order to kind of
Wildfire GZ.
That's pretty unique to the Wizarding world.
Understandable.
Well, perhaps you should try that next time. The other duelists have already taken notice of you, but after that last round, they'll really have it in for you. You'd better keep practicing if you want a chance at winning, or at least surviving the next round. I'll let you know when we're ready. Hope to see you then. The next round is for all the gobstones, so to speak.
And that is more or less gonna wrap it up for us for now, for what we wanted to show you.
Ja, Luca. Aber steht ja auch, dass es zum Beispiel, dass Alkohol konsumiert wird und so in dem Spiel.
No. Character creator, tour of Hogwarts, and just that little taste of combat. But we didn't want to leave you without well, maybe a little taste of something that we may show in the future, may show next time.
Oder Feuerwhisky, da wäre ich für.
You know, so leaving the castle, going out here.
Das ist doch die Brücke, die Neville in den Büchern explodieren lässt, oder? Beziehungsweise Finnegan.
More owls confirmed.
Owl mail. There's the owlry again. Yes, all of the owls. But yeah, just heading out here again to show you like from Hogwarts.
Ich mag das Sounddesign der Schritte.
To the world beyond Hogwarts. And
oh man.
Alles, was du siehst, kannst du bereisen.
This is not
Überall
somewhere
kannst
where
du
we're
hin.
going today, but we will definitely be taking you in the future. A little glimpse at the scale of the castle back there. All right, so we're gonna wrap.
Ist das Hagrids Hütte? Also quasi, Hagrid dürfte ja zu der Zeit auch noch nicht da sein.
Things up here, but
Oder? Nee.
I hope you guys have enjoyed everything that you've seen. But I think, James,
Ja gut, ist aber überall etwas. Es gibt eine Menge Orte, wo du Sidequests findest oder halt auch Geheimnisse, ne? Also so kleine Rätsel oder ne, sowas. Aber ich denke, dass in den meisten Orten schon irgendwas sein wird. Ich glaube, du hast keine Bereiche, wo eine große Leere herrscht.
You may have a few other questions here
Irgendwelche
at the end of
Tiere.
things. So while we're done with what we're showing on the gameplay side, I know there's a few things that you want to pick Alan and Boston's brains about.
I would love that because there's a lot. Let me grab it. All right, so some of these questions we did pull from the community.
Ich weiß jetzt nicht, ob die Fragen so wichtig sind, aber
secretly, but I did pull from the community. So,
and also from, I mean, going through this, I
Based
feel like
off
you've come up with some things you want to talk a little more about. I'm sure.
Elaborate on, because we went through character customization, Hogwarts itself, and even combat. So this would be like for the both of you guys. Will we be able to go back and change our character creation if we don't like it?
So not everything, but there are certain things with hairstyle, hair color, so kind of like core shapes, you know, like with the body and face, not after the fact.
Okay.
But there are lots of things.
Ja, die Fragen sind definitiv vorher geklärt worden, 100%.
Barbershop in Hogsmeade that you can go to, and
Of course, there's
inside
a
of
wizard
there,
barber.
you
Right?
customize, yeah.
You could change your hair color for holidays or something, right?
Oh my gosh, that would be so cool.
And the game features a lot of appearance customization in it, so there's a ton of options there. But that's in terms of like your character and stuff that you have, the character creator. It's like a smaller set of what you saw there.
Okay. Oh my gosh, awesome. Next question: what kind of leisurely activity can we do? Can we study with our free time? I mean, what will we be doing just hanging out in Hogwarts?
Because as you progress through the game, there's a bunch of different missions that open up. Most of them.
Ich weiß gar nicht, ob ich diese Frage gestellt hätte, beziehungsweise beantwortet haben will, weil das ist doch Kernsache des Spiels, Sachen rauszufinden, zu schauen, was du da machen kannst, so zu entdecken und für sich selbst diese Story zu finden, oder? Vor allem die Sidequests quasi.
Some of them are driven by different characters' personalities. You know, some of them want help getting up to hijinks, or some of them want to just explore secrets in the castle because there are
Secrets in the Castle, ja.
new secrets in our castle to explore. And so, so I think there's a bunch of things to do. And when it comes to class, as I mentioned earlier, it's not just kind of like the mainline stuff. There are kind of like extracurricular assignments, some of which are optional, some of which are kind of like blockers for main mission. Kind of like you can't go on this mission until you have the spell. And then the spell is open, you know, the assignment and how you complete it with your professor. And so there are opportunities to study, so to speak, like with that. But they do all take the form of our mission structure.
As you mentioned earlier. Wow. Let's get into some combat right quick. Do spells have different levels, or are they all equal?
Do spells have different levels, or are they all equal? I'm trying to think of how to describe that. So each spell has kind of like its own core identity and what it does in the game with regards to both kind of like puzzling, world exploration, and enemy combat and all that kind of stuff. And then it's through the talent system
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
When you go into that, it's kind of like each of those spells has ways to kind of like advance and grow.
Nice. Also du kannst deine Spells tatsächlich leveln bzw. verbessern. Quasi in einem Talentbaum, wenn ich das richtig verstehe.
And change.
Okay.
And as you spend talents, in some cases, it even changes like the way you approach the battlefield and things like that. So I'd say that's no more true than with like dark arts, for example.
Right.
And as you go down that line and you kind of play around with those talents, it really does start to kind of like affect even how you approach combat and how you think about the battlefield.
Ich bin gespannt, wer von euch die dunkle Magie aufsuchen wird. Hä? Bleibt ihr im Licht der Zauberwelt oder werdet ihr einen Schritt ins Dunkle wagen? Hä?
I won't be touching the dark art stuff, but I know many of you guys will be.
Maybe on your second playthrough?
Yeah, second playthrough, yes.
Okay.
Dark Hufflepuff coming.
Durch und durch Slytherin.
I want to close off with this question, and this will be for everybody, and we'll start with Boston. With this game that you guys have been working on for however long and the excitement you guys have, what's one aspect of Hogwarts Legacy that you are excited for the fans to experience? Boston.
I think I'm just excited for the fans to play through the world, specifically the castle, and maybe go read those books again. I hope that whether you're already a fan and love this game or this is your first introduction into the world.
Ich denke, ihr werdet 2 Durchläufe machen. Also, Release-Stream wird absolute Eskalation. Ich werde hier alles, also die Sachen, ich habe ja ganz viele Sachen und die Sachen sind alle noch original verpackt. Für diesen Stream werde ich die meisten Sachen davon auch auspacken und hier ein bisschen umdekorieren und so weiter und mich auch selbst umdekorieren und dann werde ich das Ding sowas von durchjuckeln die nächsten Tage. Also ich werde das so viel spielen. Ich habe da so Lust drauf.
They just point at each other in the best way possible and I'm just excited for fans.
Vielleicht, das fällt mir jetzt erst auf, vielleicht machen wir dann einen Stream, wo wir selbst Butterbier machen. Weil ich habe dafür auch Rezepte und so weiter. Und ich wollte das ja schon längst mal gemacht haben. Mein Bier, was ich damals gekauft habe in Englisch, ist schon längst abgelaufen. Feels Batman. Aber vielleicht ist das auch eine coole Idee als Special.
Get to finally go to Hogwarts and feel like they can own it and live there. I've lived there for 5 years. It's a great place to live. Official 5th year.
It's really funny because I want to give a different answer and I will, but I actually feel like the most honest answer is really similar.
Willkommen im Club.
Because my favorite thing when running around, playing the game, and getting to know Hogwarts the way Boston knows it, because she knows the school and the lore better than I do, and thank God, right? Because you want the person architecting it to really know that.
Yeah.
But when I rewatch the films or I'm rereading passages from the books, there's a different relationship to those things having played the game.
Right.
And so it's really looking over the edge and seeing location. I'm like, oh my God, I'm right there.
Welche Seite ist der Test? Pottermore. Da waren wir vorhin drauf. Das war die Seite mit den Charaktergeschichten und so. Kann ich das hier, habe ich das hier nochmal? Wizarding World, war das hier? Du kannst es auch ganz einfach googeln. Also das ist nicht so schwer zu finden.
Movie saying, I know what's around that corner in the film. Like if you go down this way, there's actually a thing over here, and there's this person over here, and this thing happened, and it just.
Genau. Warte. Die Seite ist das hier. wizardingworld.com. Und dann kannst du da dann findest du das unter Hogwarts und da musst du halt einen Account erstellen und so. Ne?
Adds all this richness to everything that you already love.
And not just that, but you're going to add your own story.
Yeah.
So you know what happens around that corner because you did something.
Yeah.
And then the quick answer, just to have something different, is I just love being on a broom. I just love looking at the whole world and just being like, okay, I can just go.
I can go there.
That vantage point,
There's just something exhilarating about it that feels very different in that kind of open air and on that thing. It just it's kind of incredible. Yeah.
And wrapping it up, for me, it's just bringing the community together with it and sharing those stories because it is your story, and you are going to be writing. This is your unique experience within this, and even within the things that are the same, it's going to be your unique experience. It's different from mine. It's different from. We're all approaching it from different places, and I think that's going to be really cool the way that everybody brings those things together. All right, and that's everything that we have to show you today. I know maybe it wasn't everything you wanted to see, but it was a whole lot of stuff. Character creator, little mini tour of Hogwarts there, just a small part of it, a little bit of combat. And we do have some more stuff coming up for you in the future. Hogwarts Legacy releases on February 10th, 2023, and is available for pre-order now. But that's going to do it from us. We're going to leave you with a little something else, but for now...
Na siehste.
Bye.
Bye.
Na siehste, ich glaube am Ende kommt aber noch was vom Spiel, was wir noch nicht so gesehen haben, I guess. Auch eine andere Eule da quasi, obwohl es derselbe Room war. Auf dem Hippogreif, let's go. Und auch hier ist abseits von allem, sieht aus wie so ein Lagerplatz, einfach so ein Lagerfeuer und da sind irgendwelche Gauner. Oder du bist der Gauner, who knows. Und das war, glaube ich, der Weg zu deinem Häuschen mit deinen Tierchen und so. Ja, this is it. Das war quasi so die Vorstellung vor einigen Tagen, vor 2 Tagen oder vor 3 Tagen auf Twitch live. Ich habe das durch Zufall gesehen. Und bin gespannt, ob da nochmal so ein Livestream kommen wird oder ob das quasi jetzt war. Aber die müssen ja Marketing irgendwie machen. Und wenn sie das so schon mal probiert haben, why not, right?